Mr. Tartaglione. It says 1 Hen Island. Do you have a street address, a residence that you live?
10 Hen Island, sir.
No, a real residence.
My real residence, you
Yeah.
said it 37 times when I come up here. My home address is 600 Anderson Hill Road in Purchase, New York.
Okay.
But I'm also a Rye taxpayer, sir.
It says for the residence.
I'd like the city to take into consideration everything that Mr. Piscineri said and apply that to Mayor French's situation where he referred his case to the Ethics Committee. But tonight, I'd like to speak about a strategic shift in code enforcement in Rye. When I first undertook my quest to have the city of Rye enforce the health, safety, and building codes out on the offshore cottage community that makes up Hen Island, I thought the problems were specific to Hen Island. I now find that the lack of code enforcement and legal practices extends well beyond Hen Island to the heart of this city and its residential neighborhoods where members of the Rye, elected and unelected political class, are the homeowners involved. So, for example, if you are the Rye City's highest current elected official, in effect the city's chief executive officer,
Wrong.
and you get,
City manager's the chief executive.
excuse me, sir,
officer of
if you
the
could
president
let
of
me
legislation.
finish my presentation.
Well, I just want to correct
You could correct it when I'm finished, thank you.
Okay, and I will.
Have some manners.
Well,
So, for example,
goes, sir.
if you are Rye City's highest current elected official, in effect the city's chief executive officer, and you get caught renovating an entire house without
No
any
comment
city
for the record,
permits
Don.
whatsoever, you can blame someone else and get away with it. Likewise, if you're that same chief executive officer and you get caught cheating on your school taxes for a decade, you can blame it on a combination of city employee negligence and get away with it. And if you are that same chief executive officer and get caught
sir, is there a matter before the council? We want to hear issues that are before the
and
council.
get caught in these legal
City business.
activities by outside sources,
Do you have city business that you'd like
this
the
is
council
city
to
business,
consider? No,
sir.
it's not, sir.
You cheated on your taxes,
See,
you
that's-
cheated on your building situation,
Right, we've heard
and this
before.
is a city
And
matter,
I
sir.
was absolved of all
So, and
those
if you
false
have the same
allegations,
chief
sir.
executive officer and
Is
get
there a
caught
matter
in these
before the
illegal
council?
actions
City
by
business.
outside sources, your first instinct is to turn the subject of your own shortcomings against what you perceive to be your competitors on the board, and publicly
Sir,
blame them
we'll
for
move on to the
supporting
agenda.
the exposure
This is not
of this
your time
now
for personal
documented
attacks.
illegal activity.
Okay.
What disturbs
Counsel,
me the most
do you
is
agree with
that you
this, or do you
use
want me to
lies
say?
to accuse your own Republican Party members of doing exactly what you did yourself.
I think it's just late for 2
Let me assure you,
Yeah, I'm done.
the ongoing corruption probe involving you, Mayor French, and I believe you owe both Councilman Brett and Councilman Sack an apology. And while you're thinking about these, there are other words that the rest of Rye deserves and needs to say. I'm sorry, let me just correct that. And while you're thinking about that, there are other words that the rest of Rye deserves to hear you say. I am sorry, I did substantially renovate and
That's
improve an
incorrect, sir.
entire
I'm not gonna
rent
say it.
house.
It was done in 1972.
I'm
I was in the
sorry,
third
I
grade.
did substantially renovate and improve my entire rental house without any city permits or inspections. I'm sorry, I did disguise all of this activity from
Okay,
the
we're gonna
city
move on
tax
to the agenda.
assessor
We've got city business
department,
to conduct, sir.
and thus have deprived the city my lawful and fair share of property tax payments. I am sorry, I'm still renting the home to the public, and it is currently being unlawfully
Let's move to
occupied by my
item
tenants
number
at a
13,
risk.
Scott, the bid award for street materials.
I am sorry that I have been issued multiple building department violations to this date, and I am sorry that I partially blame some of these issues on a widely admired, dedicated, long-serving, but now deceased Rye City employee. I knew he couldn't defend his reputation
Number
any
13.
longer, so I regretfully took
Mr.
full
Tartaglia, we're
advantage
going to
of
move
that.
on with city business, okay?
I did
Personal
cheat on my
attacks.
taxes, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, right.
I apologize sincerely to the residents of Rye, to my family, for trying to cover up my shortcomings, encouraging some of my political party officials and political contributors to try
Well,
and
he's in the
publicly
back, he's in the
whitewash
back.
all
Why
of
don't you guys
this.
talk?
I
Scott,
should have
number
accepted
13?
responsibility
Sure, Your
from the beginning.
City
And
puts
as a
out an
result of
award
my
annually
failure
for
to my
street
friends,
materials.
supporters, and most of all to the rest of
And
the
this is-
hardworking, honest employees and
This is the
taxpayers
current
of
year's
Rye,
return on
it
the.
is with regret that I tonight
We're moving on to the
resign
agenda.
as mayor of Rye.
Okay?
Try using those words, Mr. Mayor.